La Romy knows the way it goes, she knows the way it goes, sun yanked out by the roots at dawn, y en la noche buried in the ground like an old bone. That's how long we got, that's how long it takes to live, barely time enough to love, casi nada. La Romy knows the way it goes, más que nada. You come, you kiss and die, that's the cuento, only story we got time to tell, cause there it goes, there goes my son. He's leaving his Romy and she's ready to die. She's taken all day to die. And there it goes, up toward the blue above us, the sun over Romy. And these two babosos in the parking lot of the Hidden Valley Shopping Center who don't feel the fire that Romy feels. But Romy knows before she knows. Simone, she knows the way and she's about ready to take it. Thus opens my play El Otro, a work informed by the tropes and rhythms of a poet who never came to my hometown of El Paso, a writer who didn't know what a Mexican was, but somehow managed to leave him and the entire world a legacy of the most beautiful words ever strung together. Growing up on the border in Texas, I spoke only Spanish, the household tongue of my parents and brothers and sisters. But as soon as I went to school, I quickly learned another language. I learned English quickly and with such eagerness, it felt like there was room in my mouth for all the words in the world. As I got older, another teacher, television, taught me even more words through the dizzying array of idioms found in cartoons, variety shows, comedies, westerns, and cop dramas. And still, there was the home language of the street and our kitchen to remind us of who we were and where we came from. But in my second year of high school, a stupendous thing happened. I got cast in a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. And suddenly, I knew there was yet a third language to learn. A language of metaphor. And before I learned how to pronounce the word Shakespeare, I was riding the waves of lyricism and rhyme and alliteration. I was confounded by the double and triple meanings in words, but the music of the verse, the elegant turns of phrase, and brash colloquialisms. And as I took on the role of Bottom, the comic lexicon of nonsense, bawdiness, and magic streamed out of my new-fashioned mouth and made not an ass of me, but an artist. Because this is the moment I knew I wanted to write like this man. Because this man had made a metaphor that expressed my world. I wanted to create my own language for my own works, but that took more time than I thought. I played Iago in my senior year in college, and still all I could do was marvel at how sense and sensibility were so beautifully fused, so that what was expressed on stage was not thought or feeling, but some wondrous human marriage of the two. Inseparable and complete. How Will could endow a vile man with such heavenly language, and then grace the mouths of peasants and soldiers with uncommon poetry. These were mysteries that this Mexican kid just couldn't work out. But Shakespeare taught me how. He taught me that in the humanist universe, everyone has the soul of a poet. A king can be crude and a drudge speak with angels. But he also taught me that as his king and drudge spoke to our world, our kings and drudges must speak to his. So I turned to the language that coursed through my childhood, the language where Spanish and English fused to make Spanglish. The natural poetry that danced trippingly on the lengua, the rhythms of my street, where rancheritas come with a Spanish drawl, and everyone speaks with a Spanish accent. I found my way into this idiom, or rather let the idiom find its way into me, and thereby hangs a cuento. Because once again, my mouth was big enough for more words, more ideas, more metaphors than I ever thought possible. In my play El Otro, A young girl stands between two fathers she must choose between and laments in her head the brevity of life, its hard slogs and sweet joys experienced in the single arc of the sun because she wants to die. The metaphor is hers to make, but she is a metaphor too for a Mexican kid in El Paso, Texas, who learned an extraordinary language wrought by genius 400 years and more ago.